building the plane while and flying it at the same time, but you're
get something done. But when you look at this, and once it gets outside.
Hello everyone, my name is Arina. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back. Meghan Markle blessed us with another podcast interview. So we're gonna listen to that. So it is another 90 minutes of her talking about herself. But without further ado, let's start.
Starting businesses or starting their own, ventures. And that's exactly what you've done. But before we get into...
Not even, it is 1 minute, 55 seconds in. She's already annoying me. She's just talking. This Emma person is just talking. And Meghan is going,
And that's exactly what you've...
It is... It's not cute. It's not fun. Let's not do that.
Sound like, how did it start?
Okay, the first question she answers by saying she has gotten into this entrepreneurial space because of her grandfather on her mom's side. I feel like this is a made-up story. Don't sue me. It's just my opinion. I feel like she is pulling things out of thin air just to have something to say. I actually don't believe this is to be true. The only reason I say that is because if this was true, I am 99% sure that we would have heard about this by now. The fact that she's never talked about this before, I feel like she just cooked this up.
I knew that I wanted to put something in the world, and for years, we've been out here for 5 years now.
We've been out here for 5 years now. Out here, out of prison? What do you mean?
I do believe it was probably more obvious to a lot of people that I would get into fashion or beauty.
No doubt.
It was obvious to many people that I would get into fashion. So many people are criticizing how she dresses. To be honest, I'm not the fashion person. I don't really understand the pizzazz in the fashion realm, but also I don't understand why would so much attention be on the fashion of the walkabouts, let's say. The latest news I saw was Princess Catherine wore the same coat for the fourth time, and everybody was on the comment was like, oh, that we could rewear our stuff. That will save me so much money. Obviously normal people don't do this. We rewear because we wash our clothes, and we can't really afford to do that every single time. Anyways, the thing, I don't really understand the focus on the fashion of the royals. Their work is not about fashion at all. Why are we focusing on that? I mean, yeah, we can appreciate that, but why are we turning them into headlines? I will never understand. But other than that, her fashion has always been criticized, in my opinion. When she got married to Prince Harry, people were loving her fashion, but then people started to turn on her, I feel like. And everything she did became something to criticize, which is normal, I guess. If you're famous, you need to be okay with being picked apart. I feel like that just comes with the job. People turned on her, and everybody was pointing out the wrinkles on the clothes and how badly fitted the dresses or the whatever the outfits are on her. So yeah, how would it be obvious that you would go into fashion with all that negative buzz around how you wear, what you wear? And the poop hat, I think it was one of the first things that was made fun. She was made fun of. Why would you wear that poop hat? Her thinking that her fashion is making headlines. I feel like she got misled, in my opinion. And the fact that she said, she's always said that, whatever she wears always gets sold out or whatever. I saw somewhere that whatever she wears get, spike in clicks, not in sales, which is, in my opinion, normal, because if you're wearing, thousands of dollars of worth of clothes, people are going to Google, but not everybody can afford it. no, like doesn't matter how good it looks on you. If I can't afford it, I won't be able to buy it, even though like I am dying for it. I can literally cannot afford it. So I feel like she is a little bit misled in that sense. If she went into fashion, I feel like her business would be more successful than Jam, mostly because it is so much easier, I feel like, so much easier to produce clothing, like clothing line than something edible, because there's so much certification that would go into, like, I have not done any research on it. I feel like it would be a common sense. Like if you're selling something edible, there will be a lot of stuff going on in the background because people are going to consume these. And if anything happens, you are liable. So I feel like fashion would be more successful in terms of like keeping up with the demand and also keeping everything safe. So it is my opinion that she would be better off if she did fashion, not because her fashion sense is like off the charts or like everybody's dying over how she wears. Like, I don't think people, let me know if you agree with this sentiment. And on the topic of fashion, I actually like what she's wearing here. I really like how she looks. Other than her mannerism, again, her facial expressions in this interview specifically reminds me a lot of that Oprah interview, like the mannerism. She's talking about herself, but whenever this Emma person, the interviewer, talks about her stuff, she, like, Meghan goes in, like, has this underlying, I don't know, like, not hatred. I don't want to say hatred. It's like, I don't know, contempt? Contempt? Anyway, I don't like the aura that she's exuding here. I don't know what if I talk this much after every 10 seconds, this video is going to be like 7 hours long.
My ideas of, I can sell locally.
Sell locally. If she did actually sell locally, that would be so much better, in my opinion.
There's just so much curiosity
No such luck.
that you are building the plane while and flying it at the same time, but you're still in the building phase. You just don't get to build in quiet.
Well, it's
She's saying you're building the plane and flying at the same time. Not the best analogy. You could have, I don't know why she would say that. You could have said like writing a trilogy, releasing the first book and writing the second book as the first book is being released. Why would you correlate your business being a plane, being in a building phase, but still taking off on a flight? That is a terrible tragedy waiting to happen. Just saying.
What a blessing that it creates and generates so much buzz and so much interest.
I hate when she does so much.
What a blessing that it creates and generates so much buzz and so much interest. I don't think it brings more scrutiny. I think it certainly brings more attention and curiosity. Mm-hmm. How could it not? Especially because it's a new...
How could it not? That immediately reminded me of Amber Heard's interview after she lost her court case.
How could it? And where are the lines? Like, what are you doing versus what are they doing? Because I imagine, especially when it's something that's so close to your heart and something that you clearly take a lot of pride in, how are you able to make sure that the product is what you want it to be, the brand is what you want it to be?
And she's like, don't bake the cake without me. Basically confirming our thoughts about her having to do everything on her own. She says, if you made the batter, I want to see I want to see the cake before it goes into the oven.
The analogy I say is, don't bake the cake without me. Meaning, if I'm in the kitchen, I want to be part of making the batter. What's the flavor profile? And there's an entire team that can help put that cake in the oven, but I want to check it before it goes in the oven. And I want to be involved in frosting it and presenting it and the language surrounding it. It's
like, if you have a business, you can't do everything. you can't, like, I understand the need to want to do everything. I understand. I don't relate, but I understand. Let's start at the top. If you had the knowledge to comment and criticize and improve every single step of a business, that is one thing. Okay, you want to see and you want to quality check and give your approval to every single step. If you know what you're doing, I understand that need. It seems like she doesn't know much about business, about most of the things that she's trying to do. I feel like she doesn't know much. And she has the ego of a person who is ashamed to ask for help. It feels like she doesn't want to be successful. Because if you want to be successful, you need to be open to learning. And I feel like she has the kind of ego that she doesn't accept help, and she would prefer to learn through mistakes rather than taking actual lessons, like lessons from the people who already made the mistakes and now teaching you how to do the right way. Not that there's a right way, but you know what I mean. I feel like this is like my opinion, she just doesn't want to learn through them. She just wants to learn through her own mistakes, and every little mistake is a learn for her. It's a noun she just made. She loves learning. She loves improving through her learns. Anyway, she already used that. She already used learn as a noun in her previous, like one of her own podcast episodes, and now she's trying to make it a thing.
Gretchen, stop trying to make fetch happen. It's not going to happen.
So when you're in a business, and when you have a huge, like bigger business than a normal startup business, she has the funds, so she has a bigger business than normal female founders, new like startup businesses. When you have that huge of a business, I guess, you physically cannot be involved in every single part. If you are trying to do that, your next drop will be a year later because you can't physically be there to check every single thing. If she had the trust in her team to do their own jobs, I feel like she would have constant flow of new products. She wants people to not wait for a long time for the next job. If you don't want to do that, you need to take a step back and not quality control every single thing, because you can't, it is humanly impossible to do that. If you're going global, like she's mentioning here, if you want to go global, that means a lot more resources. Resource is not just you, it's your team. And a normal team leader would have the trust in their team members to do their jobs. Imagine, let's take McDonald's or the recipe maker, the actual McDonald's people. They are trying to monitor every single employee so that their hamburgers turn out the same. It is humanly impossible. That is why you have managers and assistant managers, and you have all of these people just so the machine can run smoothly without you without you having to check every single point. And you would go and take a closer look if everything was set and something is still not working. Then you would go and inspect and dive deeper to see what the problem is. When you're trying to be included, when you're trying to have your your own flavor, I guess, in every single step, it is not possible. It is humanly impossible to do that. You could do that when you are smaller business. You have, when she says she wanted to do local locally. She wanted to go sell locally. Local always means that there is a lot less, but you are doing every single thing because it's just you and you're doing locally. Then you could do the scarcity thing. But if you're going global, again, I don't know how many other ways I can say this. It is impossible to do everything on your own. So you need to let your people in your team take the lead. It's not clicking.
You're not getting it. It's not clocking to you.
And she's like, I want to check it. It's not about what you want. It's about efficiency. Like running a business is not again, I mentioned this in my last video. It's like they're playing house. They're playing a game. This is not a game. Running a successful business is a lot of hard work, and it is not a game. Like what you want was the idea, and now let people work on that thing. Like your idea is done.
You're going global.
How can we not?
I mean, how can you not?
Yeah, but it's the spirit of sharing. I don't want to just share it here. I want to share
and it's
it.
better for the P&L.
Well, girl, you are talking about building a business. Let's not pretend that business is not for the financial side of it. You're not doing this to share. If you're doing this to share, cook actual meals, not jam. Cook actual meals and send them for like people who actually need it. And there are so many homeless people out there. Like if you care so much about sharing, do it for free. God knows you have the money to do that. Do that for free. Don't act holier than thou, like you want to share. You want to make money. You just want to make money. You were complaining about not being paid just to shake people's hands. You were not even you were not doing anything. You were just smiling at people and shaking their hands, and you were like, "Oh, I cannot believe that I'm not being paid for this." So, do not act like you are doing this to share. I'm just getting angry at this point. And then, yeah, Emma, this person, she's P&L, like profit and loss, I think it was. Like, yeah, you're not doing this to share. I think this was like her calling her out, but like in a friendly way. You're not doing this just to share. You're not fooling anyone.
If I had gone into beauty, for example, and I have a lot of...
Was that a consideration at any point for you?
It was definitely something that people were asking me to get involved with.
People were asking me to get involved in beauty. You know who I think those people were? She hired some people who would come up with ideas. This is my opinion. I'm just having fun here on my own in my bedroom, having fun. Anyway, I feel like she hired some people to come up with business ventures, and those people were like, "Oh, would you like to do something in business?" Not because she was friends with anybody. To be honest, I feel like she has no friends. It is sad, but I feel like she has no friends. I don't know. That's just my opinion. Anyways, yeah, she hired some people, and those people were the ones who were like spitballing ideas, and it was not a big consideration in my opinion.
To do anything that you want to do. I've been talking to my friends.
I feel like I want to take this ad break as a cut point so that this video without editing is like 40 minutes. If I watch this whole video, it's gonna take me so much longer to film and so much longer to edit. So I'm gonna take this, split this video into some sections, and then I don't wanna have longer breaks between the videos. So I'm gonna post the second half until the ad break, maybe. We'll see. At a later date. I'm gonna edit this video because I don't want to have longer breaks. If you've watched this far, let me know what you think, and put a strawberry emoji in the comments, and let me know if you agree with me. If you disagree with me, let me know. I haven't even gotten to the mama dance thing. I haven't even talked about that. I took a break for a while, and she blessed us with so many videos on her Instagram page. Oh my God. I wanted to talk about all of those, but I was going through some like episodes. I couldn't. So I will get back to those videos after a while, I guess, but I want to be done with this video first. Anyways, let me know. Like, again, I don't want this channel to turn into a Meghan hater space, Meghan hating space. I want these videos to inspire, I guess, a conversation about human behavior, I guess. I don't want this comment section to turn into an echo chamber of people who hate her and just want to say hateful things. This is not productive for anybody at all. So all I want is for us to learn something from all these conversations that we're having. So she gives us enough content to shit on her, but it would be low of us to take the bait and actually shit on her. Not actually, but like you know what I mean. But yeah, let's be the bigger people and talk about some more interesting points, like actual points. Before, another side tangent, before I started filming this video, I was watching another channel, like commentary channel that I've been following for like almost a decade. She usually talks about this red to glare. I'll put on the screen. She usually talks about dark stuff, and like all of this Meghan Markle bullshit is nothing compared to what is actually happening out in the world. So like all of this is just BS. It's just a play for us little people to be consumed in like something so trivial. So let's not fall into that trap, and let's not talk about trivial stuff. Let's talk about actual meaningful things. Let's learn something, whether it be like human behavior or like actual business or like helping each other out in any way. Let's not turn walkabouts into fashion shows, in a sense, to bring back to the point that I was making in the beginning. Let's come into meaningful conclusion and actually learn something from that. Many people that I've watched that cover Meghan Markle is claiming in their own opinions that she is malignant narcissist, and this is a disorder that like you just have it. And if somebody else has this, whoever is watching, if somebody has some like symptoms of what Meghan Markle is showing, I guess, we could take those and implement some of those to our own lives, which is something like I'll be the first to say, I actually mentioned this in my first video that I made on her, that I see some things that she does that I also do that is like irritating people, which is like doing so much. Because the reason I want to do so many projects is that I cannot focus on one thing at a time. I feel like if I had a crochet project, I wasn't able to finish that project before I started another crochet project, just because I feel like in my brain it was like, if I'm done with this, I'm done. But if I start another thing, as soon as I'm done with this, I can go back to another. Not that not having any project to work on is the end of the world, but it's just how my brain works. And I feel like she has some sort of that, maybe, I don't know. I'm just I'm seeing some similarities and trying to learn from her mistakes, like what happens if you're trying to do so many things at the same time. What happens is basically you are unsuccessful in many of them, if not all of them. So I took that lesson for myself and reduced the amount of projects that I was feeling the need to have going on at the same time. So in my mind, I was like, no, I need to keep going. I need to keep going. And I had so many other like paper crafts that I stopped doing so that I would focus on my YouTube and on my like actual graphic design career and on my Etsy. Speaking of which, if you want to support me, you can go do that there. I have tons of posters and like stickers and desk buddies as cats. I will include a proper video as a B-roll here. Anyways, if you want to support me, you can do that there. But again, going back to my point, I see some similarities and took some lessons for myself and reduced the amount of different projects that I was doing just to keep the quality up. So what I'm ultimately trying to say is that we can shit on her all we want, but that will only add to the fuel in our heart, like the hatreds in our hearts, which I don't think is productive at all. Like hating on a celebrity or like D-list, whatever list celebrity, hating on a millionaire that is like having the time of her life in her like millions of dollars of mansion, that does nothing for us. So let's, as well as being a decent human being and taking the high road, by that I mean not shitting on her, let's also take care of our own mental health, first of all, and then also our own future. And let's make these conversations into something meaningful for us as well. I hope that all made sense. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Again, strawberry emoji if you've made this far. And I will see you with the part 2 of this video in my next video. Thank you, and follow me on my Instagram, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Get something done. But when you look at this, and once it gets outside